Hey guys, it's your boy, the Edge Master with the Dirty Boy Swag, Good Gamer Glenn, here with another Cardfight Vanguard lore video. I mentioned last time that there was like some lore that I read up upon, but I wasn't sure where it was coming from, and doing some searching afterwards, I found it. The site is under the Cardfight Coalition, and I think the submitter is, yeah, right there, Neo Arcadia. I'll leave the link to the website in the description down below for others to check it out. And yeah, that was my poor attempt at copying Tomari, but whatever, right? Anyways, the chronological table of Cray and term glossary. So, yeah, like I said, after doing some research, I finally found out where people were searching this stuff up. So it's like, oh, okay, I should go check it out. I stressed this, but maybe not enough in my last video. But the lore and opinions I gave and whatnot, or mostly the opinions I gave in the last video, was, that's my opinions. If I offended anybody, I apologize, but like I said, it's my opinions, and you're free to voice your own as well. But yeah, I hope I didn't really offend anybody there, and yeah. Anyways, let's start. I like how this guy started off the first thing though. What's up with Cray since Chronojet Dragon punched Gize so hard he got deleted across the entire time-space continuum? Oh god, that was a mouthful. But that was pretty funny. That's a pretty funny header. Already caught my attention. But let's get back to it. So 2100s, the new holy age. The deity Gize is obliterated and disappears. The Zeroth dragons return to being Cray elementals and become one with Cray once more. The divinity Messiah returns to the source of all divinity, Cray's idea, having completed its mission. The divinity Messiah foresees the future to come and leaves its will with Messiah's secret texts on the wandering planet Brant. Now, that's something I was not expecting at all. Like, Messiah leaving the predicted future or the foreseen future on Brant. So, like, because as far as I know or remember, at least Brant was like the main villain in the revamp series, at least. So, yeah. Um, but man, the people or the units later down the line are gonna be totally stuff. Sorry, I gave this article a read already, but I thought it'd be great to like go over it again and in video format, of course. So, you know, 2500s to 3500s, the Godless Age. The enemy that opposes Cray's power of destiny, the unstoppable Void, suddenly attacks Cray once more out of nowhere. So the Void goes and attacks Cray again, and this is after like this whole thing happened with like GZ and whatnot. Man, they just can't get a break, can they? The source of all divinity, the Cray's idea, divinity without will, cease functioning in order to stop the threat of the Void. Oh man, that sounds like a real doozy. Without the power of destiny having been lost due to being pushed to its limits, even the pages of the Akashic book turn blank, bringing forth the era that would be known as the Godless Age, an age of unanswered prayers where prayers have no meaning. So, I think this falls more back into the lore. If you guys seen like all the other videos and stuff, like this is the deity-less era. This is the era where no Messiah, no Gize, no, I don't know, no gods basically that's like helping to run the planet or so, so on or so forth. And for those of you who do not know what the Akashic book is, it's used a lot in what's the term I'm looking for, in popular culture. For me, the term Akashic record sticks more, mostly because I love the Fate series and everything. But it's basically kind of like the book of like everything that's going on in the world, past, present, future kind of stuff. In this case, this is Cray's form of it. So let's see what goes next. The clans of the Dimension Police, the Nova Grapplers, and Link Joker, heeding the warnings from Messiah's epitaph, come to an agreement on what they must do. Reforming their nation, renaming it to Brant Gate, and decided to become the force to resist and oppose Void, even though they now lack any sort of blessing in this godless age. So, for the whole of Stargate to change their name to Brant Gate because of the warnings coming from Messiah, I think that's like a pretty good thing on their part. I mean, this is literally like a clan full of like giant robots and Link Joker. and a bunch of brawlers. You know, like what other better clan can you choose to fight against the Void in this case? Sure, I guess maybe you can argue like maybe Aquaforce, United Sanctuary. I don't know, but you know, like, but it's a good start. It's definitely a good start. Let's see. Due to the disappearance of all the gods, the Keter engine that helps United Sanctuary prosper since it was founded ceased to function. Now, Keter engine, Keter, that's another keyword right there. Keter. Because what happened to United Sanctuary? They became the Keter Sanctuary. At the end of the countless disasters, both natural and man-made, such as war, famine, plague, and death, along with civil war and internal strife, the royal family that serves as a symbol of the nation, the House of Barton, that gave birth to the hero Alfred, eventually fell. So, I think I spoke about this last video about some kind of, like some civil war happening and then Alfred's family falling. Now we have a name for that, Barton. This kind of sucks though because, you know, Alfred is like pretty iconic in this series alongside Blaster Blade, at least for the Royal Paladins, Gold Paladins, United Sanctuary basically. And like for his line to fall, it makes you kind of wonder like who did that. But this is where like my speculation comes in. This says I know it's a lore, but like what's the reason to actually give name to the house that Alfred came from? Like speculation wise, I can just assume, oh, maybe the house fell, the royal family fell, but maybe the line didn't die out. Maybe the Alfred had some illegitimate child somewhere down the line. I don't know. But I think lore wise, if they pulled off something like that, that'd be pretty cool. Especially if it affects the card game itself. That just means we get another Alfred like unit. Maybe he'll have a different name. Well, obviously he'll probably have a different she will probably have a different name. And who knows, maybe we'll get the second coming of Blaster Blade like I wanted. Or like I want, I should say. With United Sanctuary turning into a failed state, the justice, order, and medical knowledge the country stood for collapsed and disappeared, causing the chaos to spread further across the planet in a chain reaction. Now that's a big deal, because if United Sanctuary was this big, like, nation that supplied a lot of this stuff, especially like medical knowledge and stuff, for that to fall and cause a chain reaction, can you like imagine how that would be? Like just imagine our own world, you know, like, well, I guess our world's actually going through the shits right now, but you know. With no common enemy in the form of Gizeh and the symbol of harmony and peace Messiah gone, the inhabitants of the planet Krei fell into a long dark age of unending war with one another. I'm gonna assume like this is the part where Dragon Empire starts taking over everything. Or like as far as possible and expanding their territory. After 300 years, United Sanctuary completely collapses as a nation, and due to its unending internal strife and civil war, and loses most of their territory, the land turning barren with no divine blessings left to protect them. Yeah, see, so I guess it all starts with the whole Keter engine thing failing, but you can't blame them. If that's something that was powered by like the gods and divinity and stuff like that, and they're like god now, then it was, it was just bound to happen eventually, right? Or was that? The survivors of these unending crises built a new nation in the sky. On a floating island they dubbed Ketergia, using the Keter engine as a power source, although it still can't be used to see the future. So it kind of makes me wonder what the Keter engines actually run on. Those living on Ketergia, dubbing themselves the people of the skies, declare they are the chosen ones of the very sky itself and found a new nation, Keter Sanctuary, that cuts off all diplomacy and contact with other nations. Yeah, I don't know if that's a smart move for them, but I guess that was their way of survival anyways. But if you guys remember the lore from last time, Keter Sanctuary is basically separated by the big guys, the big head honchos living on top of that floating island, and then like the common folks are still like living on the ground still. So like it, yeah, literally turned into like a power equals might, power equals right kind of deal in Keter Sanctuary from what I'm reading. The loss of divine blessing also causes food supply and production to plummet, meaning even the clan Neo Nectar can no longer supply enough food to match the world's needs. So hearing this out too now, like I never would have thought that Neo Nectar was also another food supply for the entire world of Cray. But I guess it was a given, since you know, it just did. I mean, like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Neo Nectar, the unit that comes to mind first isn't anything like Dandelion or what was her name, or Asha. Heyo Pineapple is the first thing that comes to mind. But I mean, just looking at that by itself, it's a food based unit, I guess. So I guess I could kind of see how Neo Nectar would be another food supply for Cray. The prestigious Academy of Great Nature continues to decline as the historic nation of Zeus splinters into various smaller, self-sustaining nation states. So that kind of sucks. Also, as well, it's like all the great minds of Cray are like, yeah, it's like dying off, I guess, or yeah, or whatnot. And then like Zoo itself, a huge nation, is already splitting itself up. So that's kind of that's already pretty bad in and of itself. But even as the Academy's influence wanes, there are those who commit their lives to the pursuit of knowledge, and one of them, the sage Stoicheia, comes upon the truth of the age of unanswered prayers. Stoicheia develops the Wise Cube, a sentient artifact that observes and studies the fragmentary remains of divine blessings from Cray. Okay. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm getting like Tesseract vibes from that. At least that's what it seems like. But that's pretty cool. I wouldn't be surprised though if like later down the line this Wise Cube becomes like evil or something, but that's probably not going to happen. Who knows though, because it says it studies the fragmentary remains of the divine blessings across Cray. Who's to say it won't just come across like Gize's influence or something and then just become influenced by it as well. Following the death of the sage Stoicheia, those who followed his teachings unite under the Wise Cube and form the nation Stoicheia, named in his honor. Good going for that guy or girl. The vast majority of the clans from the old nations of Zu and Magellanica join under the banner, united by a common cause, leading the birth of a vast nation. Now, this was a really cool thing that they did anyways, because technically speaking, Zu and Magellanica were pretty big nations. And I mean, granted, the nations whittled down a little bit. The fact that they actually joined together is actually pretty nuts. It's like joining land and sea. Like, pretty two important things on a planet most of the time. At least going off by like Pokemon standards. You know, Gen 3 stuff. Anyways. Due to the decline of magic, the various clans of Dark Zone splinter into various smaller nations and states as a result of the loss of their power. Among them, the clan that lost the most was Gear Chronicle, having lost their power to travel through time, space, and parallel dimensions in this godless age. See, this was a cool thing I think that they added. The fact that they lost their power to time leap and everything. Because the whole point of like the G era was basically, yeah, just what was it? I think it was like grasping the future and your future possibilities. Now that there is none of this, the only future that's being more or less foretold is whatever Messiah wrote down and passed down to for the future generations to look upon. I think that's pretty cool, pretty slick. And could also, you know, wonder why there's no, so far at least, there's no news of like any new G cards coming in. Although if they take that into account and they don't release any more G units or G Guardians either for the physical card game, I don't know how that's gonna go with the community. Oh well, whatever. The Zodiac Time Beasts enter a deep slumber, entrusting their power to a single hero who detects the faintest spark of the future, a spark of hope that all others have given up on. See, okay, so in the lore that we received, or that was announced about the hero of the Dark States, a lot of people assumed it to be Chronojet Dragon. But after reading this, when you hear that the Zodiac Time Beasts all went to sleep and they gave their power to a single hero, it makes you think it's somebody else. Like, if my speculation like became accurate and it was Chrono that was the hero because he finally found a way to get to Cray, doubt that happened, of course, but that would have been cool. then I can understand that, because he's Gear Chronicles his clan, basically. You know what I mean? But this just kind of implies to me that Chrono Jet Dragon had nothing to do as being the hero that saved and founded the Dark States, or helped found the Dark States. But yeah, you never know. I mean, they could have just given it to Chrono Jet anyways, and he could have just done it. But yeah. Where was I? The Zodiac Time Beast entered. Blah blah blah. Discovering the spark of hope lies deep within the Dragon Empire. The hero founds the Federation of Dark States, allying themselves with those inside Dragon Empire who seek to protect the spark of the future. Now that's pretty cool. So like, kind of makes you wonder about like the characters coming out in overdress now with Danji and Yu Yu. Kind of makes me wonder how their interaction's going to be in the series. I can definitely see, Danji being that kind of like I don't know, the Kai to the Aichi. I don't know if it works that way, but can definitely see like Danji being like maybe like the first role model or teacher, so to speak, for Yu Yu. Dragon Empire, the oldest nation on Krei and home to the oldest race of all, dragons. There alone the priestesses continue to pray as they have since time immemorial. Endless praying, it is said that once their prayers are answered, the slumbering egg will finally hatch, and with it a new future of prosperity will be born. Okay, so just reading on this kind of makes you wonder if the Nirvana, the new or the first ace unit for Dragon Empire, so to speak, will become like the new Messiah or something, like later down the line, of course. And then it kind of makes you wonder too, like, if that happens, is like divinity coming back? I don't know, or some sort of divinity coming back. I mean, hold on, I'll share that in a little bit. But let's see. 4500s, godless age, total spatio-temporal isolation. The past cannot be seen, the future can no longer be predicted, and the power to stride across the other worlds, other dimensions, or other times has been lost. 5000s, the Chakrabarthi Divine Era. The priestess's prayers finally reach Earth, and as a result, the deity known as the Chakrabarthi Divine Dragon hatches. So the original story is indeed by Akira Ito. That's what his name was. I was having a hard time trying to remember what his name was in the last video. So that's pretty good. I'm not going to go over the glossary, but you guys can go over it with the link I post down below. But basically what I'm getting from all this is like, it's going to be a new divine era. So I think for overdress as like a story, this will probably be like where the saying how legends are made might start like coming into play, because I don't know, maybe with like Messiah sleeping and whatnot, maybe Krei is just gonna have like its new set of like deities and whatnot appearing, and the first one to appear just might be Nirvana. Let's see, what else? I was gonna go over something, but now I can't remember what it was. In any case, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking anyways. A lot of speculation. I didn't want to ramble on a lot in this video, but I really feel like there's something else I need to talk about. I just can't remember what it was. But yeah, I can't think of anything. Oh well. Well, if you did enjoy this presentation, let me know in the comment section down below. Hit that like button if, help me out a little bit. Oh god, I can't believe I'm asking for shit like that. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. Do you agree with anything that I said? How does this lore treat you? Are you a lore addict like I am? And like, what are you doing that's getting you hyped for like overdress right now? Or like, what's helping you to continue the hype for overdress? Because like for me, I'm just looking up cards right now, and I'm trying to make a premium deck, and like I'm having quite a bit of trouble because I'm like so out of the loop. But I'm starting off with at least Kagro and Royal Paladin for now, for Royal Paladin, and I mean for premium, And for Royal Paladin, I'm gonna start with Jewel Knights because Jewel Knights is definitely one of my favorite archetypes in the series, and like, yeah, um, yeah. Anyways, guys, this was your boy, the Edge Master with the Dirty Boy Swag. Good gamer Glenn, and I'm wishing you all a good game and a good day. Bye.